Hello boys and girls, and welcome to my player ratings for yesterday's shambolic, embarrassing defeat to Aston Villa. 3-0 at the Emirates. What an absolute load of shit that was. Excuse my language, but you know what? I'm not going to hold back because what I saw was so embarrassing. That for me was right up there with the defeats against Bayern Munich when we lost 5-1 home and away. At least in that game you could say it was Bayern Munich. They have world-class players in every single position on the pitch. And this is no due disrespect to Aston Villa, okay? But they don't have world-class players in every position on the pitch. Jack Grealish is unreal. That guy absolutely tore us to pieces. He had so much fun out there. He is, for me, a world-class player. That's one you can turn around and go, yeah, he's the real deal. Ollie Watkins, what did I say in my preview before the game? That Ollie Watkins would be a threat, that he is dangerous. Some people will look at him and go, oh, he's just come from the Championship. He was at Brentford. I watched him a lot in the Championship and how Brentford converted him from a winger to a striker. He is an unbelievable player. To rub it in even more, he's actually an Arsenal fan. Most of his family are Arsenal fans. Every single ball that was played up to him stuck. He bullied Rob Holden. Our backline was a shambles. Every bit of the play and what we did in this game was wrong. We were slow. Everything was just laborious. There was no energy, no drive, no passion. And when we conceded the second goal, I saw something that I've not seen since Mikel Arteta took over at the club. And that is that we fell apart. We crumbled. We capitulated. It looked like the Arsenal of old, where you could have gone on and conceded 4, 5 or 6. They got their third. They could have got more. They were walking around the pitch with smiles on their faces. They actually toyed with us. We had the perfect warning inside 40 seconds. And we got lucky that it was ruled out for VAR. But we didn't look at that and take it on board. We didn't use that as a way to pick our game up and realise how Aston Villa were going to play against us. We sat back. We were shit. Absolute shit. There's players on that pitch that I don't know why they're even on the pitch. They shouldn't even be on that pitch. They shouldn't even be wearing the shirt of this club. Absolutely pathetic. And I will get through to every one of these players individually once I speak about their ratings and why I'm giving them the marking I gave them. This is not reactionary. This is not off the cuff straight after the game. I've had time to sit and think. I've actually watched the highlights again. More for me for sitting through that shower of shite. What an absolute load of crap. Every single one of them players should hang their heads in shame. Hoping you go off on international duty, you all forget about it. Oh yeah, we'll just let it all brush under the carpet and everything else. No chance you getting that brushed under the carpet. Are you mad? What a load of shit. Mikel Arteta now has 2 weeks to fix up and sort this mess out. And he needs to reevaluate what he does when we're at home, because you can't play the same way that you play away at home. Teams are coming to the Emirates and they're not scared. They're looking at it and going, game at the Emirates, lovely, rubbing your hands together. And that's what it's got like, embarrassing. And this has been something that's set in from time ago. Bullshit performance, absolute crap across the board. And I can't say no more than that. So let's go and get into the player ratings. Burn Leno. And of course, there will be this big debate. Leno, Martinez, etc., etc. Leno had no chance with any one of the goals. He didn't actually do anything wrong with the game. His kicking was good. Handling was good. What could he do when it was shit in front of him? You could have honestly switched that around and put Emi Martinez in goal, and he would have still conceded the same. Because there was no way Leno could have done anything about the goals with what was in front of him. I'm going to give him a 4. I can't really give much more than that, to be honest with you. He didn't do anything wrong when he had to do things. I really can't say no more than that. Next up, we're going to go with the 3 that were in the centre-back positions. First of all, Rob Holden. Absolutely shocking. You can kind of see why he was nearly sent out on loan to Newcastle. Are you telling me that William Saliba is not good enough to get an opportunity in the Premier League and play? Really? We already know that Rob Holding struggles when players run at him. There was one point in that first half when he was in front of... it's not even Grealish, was it? It was Barkley. And it was like he was doing the song Candy. It's like candy. And he's just like, I'm like, what are you doing? Tackle the man. And you're standing off him. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic that was, man. Absolutely dreadful performance. Ollie Watkins was spinning him left, right and centre. Chopping back on side. And he was just getting absolutely cut to pieces. He gets a 1. End of. Next up, we have Gabriel. The best of the 3. But even the shit that goes on around him was rubbing off on him. And he wasn't his usual self. But he was the best of the 3. It was just calamitous from everybody. And you could see, like I'm saying, it was rubbing off on Gabriel. But he looked so frustrated and so annoyed that he was trying to tell these players to do certain things. And he's looking at them like, what are you doing, you clown? Honest to God. I'll give Gabriel a 4. Next up, we have Kieran Tierney. And there were parts of his game, and I've looked back from the replay, that were quite decent. But then there were parts of his game where he just looked all over the place, man. What happened in the first half? When he fell over, randomly. What? Like, I genuinely don't know what happened. Did he see a ghost? What happened? Somebody please explain. That's not the Kieran Tierney that I've been seeing for Arsenal. That was just absolutely horrendous. He gets a 2. Now we're going to move to the wing-back positions. First of all, Hector Bellerin. Absolute shower of shit. Why did he get a call up to Spain? Have they got loads of injuries at the moment? Really? Not good enough at all. And I've said this, and people will use this whole sentimental thing. Oh, but Hector's been here a long time. He plants trees. I couldn't give a shit about how many fucking trees he plants. I care about what they do on the fucking pitch and his shit. Did you see that third goal? Where Jack Grealish just went, move yourself, man. Get over there. Go eat some meat. Fucking hell, man. What kind of shit was that? Bellerin just bounced halfway across the fucking Emirates. Absolute shower of shit. Shambolic. 1. Next wing-back position, Saka. And I had a real look at his game this morning when I see the highlights back. And there were some parts of his game that were good. And there were some parts of his game that were really poor. You look at the first goal. He scored an own goal. And one of the reasons why he had to react the way that he did and couldn't adjust himself and put the ball into his own net was because he didn't see the runner behind him in the first place. He fell asleep. Defensively and in those certain critical moments, his youth starts to show, and that lack of experience, shall we say, that he has. Don't get me wrong, he's an unbelievable player, and what he can offer going forward is really good. But you've also got to be able to call out when things don't go right and what players do wrong. And that's the thing, I kind of think it was in the middle for me. In terms of his performances, maybe a little less than the middle, in fact, because, you know, there was more bad than good. But I'm going to give him a 3 for his performance. I think he tried. but he was a part of that structure that just fell apart. Doesn't mean I don't like the guy. I think he's an exceptional young talent. But yesterday, you've got to call it as it is, and it wasn't great. In the middle, first of all, we're going to go with Thomas Partey. And you see how important he is to the team when he came off at half-time, because that midfield just fell to pieces once he was gone. Now, in the first half, he wasn't his usual self, but at least there was something there. At least he was breaking up the play. He was driving through the midfield, and he gave us that presence that we clearly didn't have in the second half. And I feel that him coming off completely changed the game, but he only played the one half, and given the fact that he had that opportunity when it broke up the play and Martinez made the save and everything else, I give him a 4. Next up we have Mohamed El Neni, and that was back to Mohamed El sideways. That was just shambolic. It was poor, and this is the reason why I told everyone to calm down with all this contract talk and everything else. If Mohamed El Neni plays 5 games and he's consistently good for 4 out of the 5 at a minimum over a period of 4, 5, 6 months, then you can sit there and say, yeah, you know what, maybe we've really got a player on our hands, and then maybe we really need to look at tying him down to a new deal. But having one good game doesn't really, warrant the kind of talk that you're seeing. Yeah, praise him for the game, but what more can you do apart from that? Nah, sorry, not good enough at all. And he gets a 3. Worked hard, don't get me wrong, always loads of energy and stuff, but just the overall productivity and everything else, it was just shit. So that's what he's getting. Next up, we have Willian. Really? And you know the maddest thing, right? I actually thought that maybe when we signed him from Chelsea, we had a player that had experience. We had a player that could actually offer us a little something. I am a fucking idiot, because I was clearly fucking deluded, and I was clearly fucking wrong, because the guy's a load of shit. And you're telling me I've got to put up with this for 3 fucking years. What does he offer? Nothing. Not a fucking thing. He takes a corner, he can't beat the first man. He is absolute pony. Absolute rubbish. And he's ahead of our £72 million player. Piss off. 0 for Willian. Next up on the left-hand side, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. And you know what? There's 2 sides to this, okay? He's not doing anything. He's not having any shots. He's not creating, chances for himself. But then on the flip side, he's having to go out wide and supply crosses for fucking Lacazette and Willian to fuck up all the time. Put him central. Put him through the middle. This is the guy that outscored Robert Lewandowski, right, when he was playing centrally in the Bundesliga. And now he's got to go out wide and supply for everyone else. Piss off, man. I've got to give him a 1 because he didn't do anything at all. 0 shots on goal as well. Absolutely dreadful. In the middle, as the attacker, Alexandre Lacazette. How many more times are we going to talk about chances that this guy's missing? Over £50 million. Are you serious? At 1-0, we're not playing great, but we get a prime opportunity. It's a simple header. Head the fucking ball down, man. And what does he do? Straight over into the clock end. Absolute shit. How many times this season has Lacazette missed big chances in big moments of the game? You need a striker that's going to take those opportunities. Look at Anfield and Liverpool when we went and missed that opportunity at 2-1. This one at 1-0. Big chances, big games. And we need a big player. But what do we get? Lack of threat. 0. Poor. And I'm bored shitless of it. Now, in terms of the substitutes, Danny Ceballos come on at half-time for Thomas Partey, and I think that he really tried. He was very energetic until the second goal went in. And he was somebody that was giving us that bit of impetus and drive through the middle. But I can't give him more than a 5. He was on for 45 minutes. Nicola Pepe come on after 65, and so did Eddie Nketiah. First of all, Nicola Pepe. Now, it's really difficult to try and ask the guy to do something in the space of 20 minutes. But what he did do was try and drive at Aston Villa's backline. He tried being creative. He tried causing problems. But there's not a lot he can do inside those 20 minutes. I'll give him a 4. Eddie Nketiah. I actually don't even remember him coming on, because he didn't do anything. And I know there's all this talk about Haaland and the young academy boys and give them encouragement and everything else. But I'm starting to sit there and go, what does Eddie actually offer this team? When he comes off the bench and you need to bring a striker on to change a game, to get those all-important goals on a consistent basis, not just one goal every 4 or 5 games or whatever. What does Eddie Nketiah actually offer? Honestly. When you look at it in reality and when you take your sentimental head away from it, what does he offer? You know, I would rather we now give Balogun a chance to say, you know what? Eddie's had a very long time to prove himself. All right? Very, very, very long time. Consistently playing. Starting matches, coming off the bench, always involved in the squads. He's had his chances. Why not now for 5-6 games involve Balogun? Europa League games, start him. You know, Premier League, bring him off the bench with 15-20 minutes to go. See what he can do. See if he offers something a little bit different to what Eddie Nketiah is offering. Just a thought, and maybe we'll see what happens. Next up, we have the manager's rating, Mikel Arteta. And he gets a 0 because that was shit. All right? Tactics, formation, just everything. Even his jacket was shit. It was just absolutely shambolic. I look at that performance and I just think, really, you need to go back to the drawing board with our home performances. You need these 2 weeks to really evaluate what's going on and decide what you want to do with this squad and with the players that are there, because you're not utilising the threat that we do clearly have. We have one of the best attackers in world football in Aubameyang, that's now looking like one of the worst. We've got Nicola Pepe, that if you get him playing to the way that we know he can play, we've got one of the best wingers in the Premier League there. But we're not utilising nothing. We're playing Willian and fucking Lacazette. Bullshit. 0, man. I'm not going to say no more. So there we go. That is it for my player ratings. And as you can tell, I'm still not happy about that performance. I've got to stew on this for the next 2 weeks now, while I watch boring Gareth Southgate ball. What a load of crap. So yeah, look, I can't say no more really. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and I'll see you lot soon. I'm out of here.